Hey, welcome to the Pixel Shed and the first ever video on this channel. If for some reason you are somehow seeing this very first video, welcome. I figured as the first video I would just do a little bit of an introduction. My name's Jacob and I was very lucky enough to have this shed all to myself, and I thought I would finally follow a interest I've been wanting to do for a very long time. I'm going to be having lots of indie game content coming out here, streaming, games with my friends, basically everything that I've been wanting to do on a PC back from when I was younger, and I would watch people like Markiplier and Jacksepticeye. I'm just hoping to get involved and play every game I can find and get scared and cry and creep myself out and just put it all on here. I'm not expecting much to happen, but if I build a little community that wants to play games with me, give them recommendations, and just be along for the ride, I would be eternally grateful. The shed itself, on the view side of things, is, I would say, in progress. We have a lot of Lego and figures, and we're planning on having a lot more. One lick of paint and a few shelves, and I think we're going to be all good. But I'm grateful to be here, and yeah. If you've come back on this video and you're thinking, wow, he used to be so anxious and cringe, then I've succeeded. But let's hit it. Hey, so I just wanted to cut in between me doing an introduction and me actually doing the video, because I've just watched the video over and I'm going to ask for some grace. I don't know how to figure out currently, like, my eye positioning. I keep forgetting to look at the camera. I'm not speaking loud enough. I think I made the game audio too loud. Due to anxiety of the game being too quiet, all learning curves. I start picking up the pace with the speaking around 30 minutes. I obviously don't expect you to watch until that point. Feel free to clock into another video when I know what I'm doing a bit more. But it's not really why I'm playing these games, honestly. When I used to watch these games when I was younger, it was because I couldn't afford to do it, or I didn't have a PC. So I used to watch people like Markiplier and Jacksepticeye play these games, and they didn't speak a lot. And when they spoke, when things hit them, and I was like playing the game with them, and I guess that's kind of what I want to put through. And you can definitely watch this game and enjoy it and be there with me. I definitely got emotional around the 30-40 minute mark, and I start speaking more and being in depth, and I've enjoyed playing this game and been able to speak what's going on in my head. So yeah, thank you if you have ended up watching it, and if you haven't, fair enough. I will see you in the future. Thank you. Alright, we're back. As you can see, it's a very different time, and I'm wearing different clothes. I ended up just recording the intro, so I needed a couple times to do it, but let's get into this game. I'm here with Otis now. Yeah, let's hit it. First indie game on the channel. Sorted.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing The Beginner's Guide. My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011. We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way.
Really interesting.
And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is.
Parkour.
And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So, it's 2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, you know, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again.
I wonder if that's
and if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveywreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
Okay. Ooh.
This game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
Oh, that's right, I'm blocked, okay. Whisper machine status active. Okay.
Security hole breached. Hostile alien life form inbound.
It kinda looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets. But ultimately we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Enemy force neutralized. Begin shield evacuation.
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
Oh my god. Am I gonna be going somewhere else? I'm trying not to like look too hard into it and just enjoy it. Every single like indie game I've ever watched with like Jacksepticeye and like Markiplier and stuff, where it took them on like a bit of a journey, like it was massively confusing first. All the ones that were really like hard hitting. I mean, and if end up doesn't end up going anywhere,
apparently the space station has a labyrinth on it.
Then I'll just probably put this video in the
There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
Oh.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting.
Okay.
The game has this narrative about the Whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Okay.
Hey, you there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering the Whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam. It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives.
A random person on a
Could you give
telecom?
yourself?
I mean, there's another game to go to, so I'm gonna, but this with no plot. Oh.
Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
Oh.
The beam causes you to start floating. And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it, like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
Okay.
Yep, in this game you can only walk backwards.
Okay. I can look. Yeah, okay. Past what's behind her.
So it's a short and relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete.
What is the future?
Coda's trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
When she stops and looks, it becomes clearer. Okay. For the future's always behind her. How will she find the strength to confront it?
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that. Which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
Quick little Otis check, by the way. No dog check. I think I hear gunshots. You're now entering.
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
Okay.
Oftentimes, Coda would put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games.
Nonsense in nearly every direction. Okay.
I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
I am being stopped, by the way, I'm not walking slow.
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
Done. Can't believe he hacked Coda's game, that seems wrong. Stand on X, staring at beer, 3 hours. Game filled with chairs, except one chair is floating. You start in a small room, you realise that you can just walk through walls. Sharks are trying to eat
that's
you.
warm
Simultaneously,
and
you're trying
nice
to eat
and filled with
the
little
sharks.
ideas for games.
You construct a wall. The wall is destroyed. You're given a medal. You live on a boat, taking orders from a captain. The captain's always
Coda
wrong.
would often tell me that he didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person. but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
The game is nothing but giant blocks of text explaining everything. Are we playing these ideas as well? Okay. I had a very long day, and I feel like I'm a bit more vulnerable than I would be. And I'm also like emotionally happy that I'm able to play these games right now.
Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
Wow. Oh. I'm not delusional, right? The fact I can still press that tells me that it has to do something with. Can't go that way. Okay, well now all I've done is lock myself in here. Am I meant to be able to do that? Okay, I made a mistake. Oh, hello.
Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon.
Okay.
We're going to see it a lot. So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. All right, now I'm going to modify the game again so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room. How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
This is back in that game that they told us to be back at. You're now X.
Aha! So, this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the Stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them.
Okay, I think
and once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
I've got a feeling I'm not going to be able to cut any of it, and I'll probably just be posting the whole thing, like all the people I used to watch when I was younger. The great and lovely Descent.
Let's talk about video game development for a second.
Okay.
Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development. To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well.
Did not know that. Do you think I can just drop
The
off?
tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. you might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games, to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
I land. Ooh. Am I trying to get somewhere? Oh. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. I could have fallen at any point. I wonder if there's a shape. Like a bit of a find. You know, there's E4 adverts. Anyways. I mean, look, he's using different shapes. Okay. And now done?
This prison,
Yeah.
funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go. If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that.
Appreciate that.
This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't.
I'm really scared. I feel like you know exactly how this is going to end. Like, for him to... He'd have to be such like a motivated person to make this game for his friend when he isn't someone who makes games. If there isn't some sad reason. I don't want to hear about it. It's going to make me sad.
It's the puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time. There's still no clear indication
like
of what makes this
Switch.
puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
You there? Did you
Here,
come
Coda
up,
begins using a kind of dialogue system
up
that he
there?
fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
There are floating coloured blocks. Yes. That's the one above. You've been there. Now this is important. Did you get through the puzzle with 2 doors and 2 switches? Yes I did. That's literally the last thing I did before coming here. No, I don't remember going through that puzzle. I'll prefer not to tell you because I thought we just met. Come on, let's go. Again, perfect. Now please tell us how you solved it. Tell us the solution. Tell us how to get to the other side. You've never been outside. The solution isn't working this side. We're trapped. I don't remember how I solved it. Try to remember if I can. I didn't solve it. Someone let me in. Trust me. You don't want to go over there. I don't want to answer either of those things. I want to say it's unsolvable from this side of the door. Just as a fact. I know, but I do. We do. We need to get there. Do you understand? It's the most important thing in the world. We have to escape this prison. There must be an ending. I promise you, there is nothing I want more. Oh, there. Was there a puzzle you had to pass through? No, I've been here the whole time. I suggest you go see the puzzle sometime. It's not meant to be solved, but you can sit in the blank space in the middle. What happens if I solve it? Why would I sit in the black space? I'm curious. It's quite peaceful. It may not seem way at first, but you'll come to think so in time, eventually.
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
Very, very low. Curious to see. Oh. Well, this isn't blocky. We did good on this bit.
It's a lamppost.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out.
Okay.
I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to.
I'm really seeing
he wants a
it's
reference
developing,
point.
to be
He
fair.
wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
I want the end of the game to be like, and he ended up coming back after seeing this game. The game is connected to, as you walk around you can leave notes. Or notes you see are left by other players. I want the game to end like, and he saw the project I was making and he went and worked for a big AAA company. Time to touch the blue dot. Nice room, not? It's in progress, little bitch.
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet. All of the notes that you're going to see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me.
Okay.
And I cooled off eventually.
This place makes me sad.
Oh, feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them. Either way, to me they convey a sense of loneliness.
Yeah.
I see this person
exactly
who's filled with thoughts and
every word
feelings
that's come out
and
of my mouth.
beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played. But it's ironic, isn't it, that in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work.
I need to go for the freaking
I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much.
Recognize me,
is because it
please.
felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
A free t-shirt. Need upper side. Wide door so. Door how open? Open sesame. Makes sense. Closed door can open door. Thanks. So I'm damn it, the person who made this. It's so delusional, bro. You made this. Oh. New room. That was what I was going to say, but do the chimes to keep going, don't they? It's not crowded. You can go in here, I think. Don't bother. I can't be stopping all of this, surely. I'm compelled. Top 10 back proceeding forever. If this is real, like, if, like, I don't know, I really wish that this just some like indie like game, like the concept in itself is not real. Because even this on its own, if this man is like okay, is so sad. It makes me feel so upset. Load down. I beat the game. More room?
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one. In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on. And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
Why was he straight up lying, bro? He may have had me think there's gonna be no second switch. Just straight up lying to me. I need to rearrange my leg, I got a dead leg. I'm gonna do all this shit as well. Are you there? Please say something, it can be anything. Talk to me please, why are you having speak. I don't like it.
Okay, this one is tough. It's gonna kinda just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
Okay. Okay. I thought they wouldn't want me to move or something and let the game roll on its own, but let's do this. Sorry for the sharp turning. I don't usually use a mouse. Oh, am I in the well? I was just looking at.
This is it, the whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
I feel like it went black screen on me without any regard. Prison with no furniture. Well, furniture ought to be in the center of the room. How about a TV with surround sound, a refrigerator, a giant hole in the ground? I'm doing what's interesting. It didn't matter what I said. I said hole in the ground. Okay. Let's... animals. 10 pictures of horses, do it. It doesn't matter what I say. I'll click on anything. Next. It's the... It doesn't matter. You're in a intellectual prison. No. Huh. Well... Who are, and a table. You need a table. Who are you? Why exactly are you doing this? Pretty sure one of the person like... Tables were invented in 1935.
There's a bit more to this one, but still it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake.
Oh, I can't go over.
So okay, he throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
I'm at the well. Hello. Please walk forward. This guy will enable you to... There's no table. Oh, good. Go to the photo frame and click to turn it slightly. Okay. Now turn the floor lamp in this room. Finally touch the shelves. Oh. Interesting shelves. That's it. In a real prison, the escape will not open. Return to start to be taken back to prison. Yay! Return. Yay! Return back to prison.
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape. Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside. Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen of them. Personally, I think it's awful to watch this. To see a person basically unraveling through their work. And
you can't
what?
reach
Like, at what point do
the
you just
next
go,
chapter.
Maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on. But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop. That particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going. And then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
Okay. Sounds more like the intro to the game. It is just that dark. I can't see a thing, by the way. It's the lamppost. Ugh. Ugh. Did not like that. Did not like that. Okay. Ah. That is sounds. Hello, who is this? It's me. I'm you from after you escaped the prison. You're me? So you were trapped in this prison too? Yep, I was in the furniture maze.
It's a conversation.
Yep, I was in the escape
And so
scenario.
this is what Coda wants, is to be able to
prison.
talk to someone, to share what's on his mind, and to get some good advice from someone who knows. But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. You know, all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
feels like being completely still and wildly emotional at the same time. Do you feel any different? Sometimes I'm scared I'll get out and things will be exactly the same as before. No, I'm really the same person now as I was back then. Yeah, it does change. I don't feel like the same person at all. I'm gonna say nice things. I want that to be true, but he literally made this game to speak to himself. Oh good, that's so nice to hear. That makes me feel really happy. Age just kinda does that, doesn't it? I'm still me, but I'm not some... That's how it's hard to describe. But I must enjoy being who you are right now, it won't last. Wait, if you're me, then when did you get a call? Then did you get a call from another version of you when you were trapped? No, I think I'm the first person to call back. Yes, I did get a call. That's how I escaped. What did they tell you? What did you have to do to get out? All they told me was to be sincere. They asked me how I felt about being imprisoned. They just talked to me for a while. That's nice, because I would have given them the solution already. What? That freed you? How does that work? Listen, you can't know until you're out, I promise it works. Just talk to me. Okay, I can talk. Let's just talk for a bit. Will you be here? I'll be here for as long as you need.
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay.
Yourself.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yourself. That's not nice. It's nice, but...
So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself?
Let's find out. This game is way more
To me,
advanced.
this environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the two doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
Oh yeah. But we're going in here, right? Clean. Had showed up. Before I'm asking the entire house on myself. Right miserable that would have been. Everyone knows how lonesome hands make a lousy house. Don't worry about me, a place this nice.
You'll notice that the quality of the art is a step up from previous games, including this new and improved chat system, which he started using from this point on. From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish of his work, and this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
Why don't we start cleaning, then decide whether you could go do it all night. I'll finish up here, and in the meantime, could you please clear the table? Rapid, mate. Rapid cleaning. Much nicer. That's the table I want to see. Now would you please run into the bedroom and make the bed? Of course. Oh, lovely house. While you're there, why don't you straighten the rug up a bit? All little details matter. I'm already thinking about just in which way is this going to be deep. This song's beautiful. Do you enjoy being a house cleaner? How'd you end up doing this job? It's been a long time since I've seen a house this messy. Is this a house cleaner? They never clarified that. A friend dragged me a long time when I was particularly desperate for cash. Turns out I never felt so good doing something for money in my whole life. I never did like cleaning my own home. Now I've got some demons I ain't ready to face yet. Now speaking of demons, someone put this couch all in a mess. Would you come and straighten the pillows here? Sorry if my reading's wrong, I'm very close to my screen actually. Of course. Oh dear, looks like someone's put a drink over by the couch. Maybe my papa as long as you're over there. You're compelled to share an incredibly cheesy personal insight. Are you okay with that? Make it especially cheesy. Yeah, I'm ready for some positivity right now. No. these systems be watched prior to come. Also check the tub needed cleaning. How about you scrub it down as best as you can? No need to be perfect, we're all just human. I'm doing all of it, BD dubs. But whatever, I want you to speak to me. I don't know what's going on right now. Wow, that shit was dirty. Are there still books scattered on the floor over the bedroom? If so, would you put them back on the shelf? Where do you clean it? Perfect. Now, how about you come here and clear these dishes?
After the intense set of prison games, this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing. It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something meaningful.
Do these chores ever end? Darling, let me tell you something. Whatever work you do, you absolutely got to own it, otherwise it owns you. So why don't we both be with the task at hand to leave the future chores to future you? Present you wants us to move out that rug in the bedroom.
I know that
Believe it or
Kuda really
not,
liked this
trust
game.
me on this one.
Of all of his work, actually, this was the only one that he called me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was like grossly happy all the time, just walked around with a constant smile on his face.
Could have really liked this game. Earlier when I said I had a really cheesy thought, please, I was going to say that it occurs to me, one's house is not like one's soul. You take care of it and it takes care of you. Huh? I don't know why I felt so weird about saying that. I get it, it's a weird thing to say to someone you just met. You're right, that's pretty cheesy. But there's a bit of truth in it, you know? Anyway, so housekeeping. Let's keep doing this. Books. Would you please clean up the books? Thanks. Goodness, these pillows over the couch are
I'm glad he
romance.
made this.
Would you
I'm
ever
glad he
say?
found some peace.
Why are you so glad, huh?
But, of course, it can't last. The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well. Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to
This
keep
is the
moving.
dark space
It's how
in
you
between.
stay alive.
Just like much more, something's happening, and you like made a safe space for his soul in the space between his chapters changing, so he's ready to move forward. Boom.
Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move. I really thought that was the point of it.
These items you love.
This
items
one
and
gets a bit
embraces.
goofy.
Good. Goofy. Why did you come here today? Was it to improve your life? Was it to get a better job? Was it to make relationships more meaningful? No. You came here to become perfect. This workshop is going to teach you how to be perfect. Sweet. Want your friends and people in your life to look at you and think, wow, this person's a better human being than I am. Right now, who do you think that way in your own life? Who do you think is so well developed as a person that they make you feel disgusted with yourself? Compared to whom you feel useless, selfish, ungrateful. I intend to make you into that person. Perfection is within your grasp. And the question is not how do we do it, but how do we do it effortlessly? This is easy. It is so easy. It is so
About
easy.
halfway through the game, the
Being
perspective
perfect
shifts.
is effortless.
And you play as the teacher. And suddenly, you discover that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are. Oh, and also you can move around the classroom now.
Let me tell you right now, this isn't effortless. It's not the right answer. If you're torturing yourself trying to find the right solutions for your life, you're not doing it right. Wait, can I press something that dark? Oh. Just kidding. What if I'm not a good teacher? Everyone run. Run, facts.
I felt pretty hard for this one. I feel like it's one of the most relatable experiences that you can have. To assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human. I think about this game a lot these days.
Well,
this one took a lot longer than all the others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
There are so many signs. This can upset me. I've already had one tear. Game this short has never affected me. I've not been able to play games this short, obviously, but I mean, God, like in comparison, like the actual game size, wow, like fucking. Alright, this performance is beginning. Places, please. Can I leave? We are. Oh, in this scene you'll be playing as me. We're a gathering of professionals. First, we'll start leaning against the wall. Swag time. Good. Stay right there. The woman across the room in this chair is a professional photographer of animals. It's your dream to photograph animals professionally. This is your one chance to learn something from her, to gain something, to succeed. Go on, say something to her. Hello. It's the best one. Hello, that's it. That's not conversation. You need to actually converse with her. Be a human being. Do it again. I'm super scared right now. I like you. Here are all my hopes and dreams. Fuck it. No. That's not what I said to her at all. You're completely missing the tone of conversation. I was reserved, but I knew what I wanted. I was confident. For some reason, I was just in that one moment. But I was confident. Maybe it's just that you need a better feel of the setting. There's a lot of people around us. I'll give you some props to work with. These cones that bounce when you touch them will represent the people nearby. Now go talk to her. You must have worked really hard to get where you are. I bet you've learned to lean into the pain. What are some of the sacrifices you've made? Let's use the depressing one. You're messing it all up again. You'll freak her out if the conversation gets that personal quickly. You do realise how important it is for me. I'll never get an opportunity like this again. Everything was ready on this. Try stepping back from the stage. I swear to God, another prison. Okay, yes, this is what
the game ends with this eerie premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution to social anxiety, to fears of having to perform and having to chase success, the answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of
unlike
just disconnecting
Parable, where you can just like defy
and that
the
wasn't
game
what I wanted for him
and go
or
back.
for his games.
I better walk back.
Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with
this
his
one straight
person,
up, just like no,
to
this
bring
is...
him closer. But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
Mobius, to play this game properly, you must keep your eyes closed. Click. Okay. I feel like a lot's happening on my screen. I can see a lot of light. I'm having faith right now, by the way. Wait, one sec. I'm looking at the keyboard. Am I moving? No idea whether I'm moving. If I'm missing something really cool right now, this is like a swipe up game. Something was happening. Something was happening. Help! I'm blind. I can't see anything.
You should probably open your eyes if you haven't already. It's pretty much impossible to solve otherwise. And there is a solution, by the way.
The giant door, my vision went black. Blind! People have blind blocks. So, we are getting hit by the next chapter in life. Okay, I'm just gonna let it happen this time. Because my eyes have been closed. But... okay. SS Whisper, that's actually so not okay. Kinda like this. I'm blind. I'm blind. Elevator? Yep. Black truth. The only way to speak is honest. I'm bursting with creative energy. I don't feel anymore.
Like I said, I was getting concerned. First off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So where's that coming from? But then even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way.
Can't figure out how to say the thing. I'm only gonna say 2 because I'm interested in what he means by that. We're gonna be okay. The dark bit.
His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
He stops making games in 2011. It's December 2010. Where am I? Hello, is anyone there? That person? How lovely. It's been a long time since I talked to anyone. What's wrong? You look lost. You're completely out of ideas. When I try to create, I feel empty. I have nothing left to give to my work. I don't know. It's weird. I feel like I'm speaking for him too much because these are his games and how he was speaking to himself. Anyway, and I don't want to pick like the most depressing answer, because I always feel like I'm putting words in his mouth. What happened? Did something change? There was a machine that kept me going, and it stopped. I'm trying to find this engine that used to protect me to start it again. What, you looking for a machine? I think I know where it is. It isn't far.
If the last game featured Coda talking explicitly about his creative frustrations, this one turns it up to 11. Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this. Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet, still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for?
I want to get down out of this. I want to go outside. Let's load this out. Go on. Next to jump.
Because from my perspective at the time, and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was. He was in his own little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
That'd be so different nowadays, honestly. You'd be able to find someone, like a lot of people that would want to play these games, just for free, even if you put them on Steam and stuff. I would play these games. Now, so we're at one of the doors again. I've solved this puzzle before. They're wonderful. Can you tell me how to do it? First you have to close the door. First you have to open the door. You have to press the switch on the inside. He's speaking himself through the steps to get through this next chapter. He's just trying to, I don't know. I'm reading into it deeply because it is hitting deeply.
You can't talk yourself out of loneliness.
I can't believe I ever solved it.
It doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
Trust me, you'll see. You have to say that your work is fun and easy. You have to say that game development is simple and joyous, and you love it 100% of the time. Okay, making games. It's just different ways of saying easy. Ah, that feels wonderful. But it wasn't true. Why did the walls crumble? Why did it feel so awful when I said it? I'm gonna say 3 because we had no option but to say one thing basically. Don't worry about it, just keep talking. Keep saying that creation is easy. When I make games I feel completely energized. I'm constantly excited and enthusiastic. My work is easy and it never stops being easy. It doesn't matter what I say, it's the same thing. Oh yes, that's wonderful. Keep
Seeing
going.
this game at the time that he made it looked really unhealthy to me.
Every
I was
time I
watching
make
him do this
something,
to
I
himself,
feel
and I
bad
hated
about
it.
myself.
I hated seeing him so trapped.
You just never stop
like
creating, you never feel bad.
Video games are not worth this amount of suffering.
Perfect.
This is someone I
was
really
fantastic.
cared about. And I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For
No,
him to
this is
suddenly
helping.
become
I'm
angry
gonna
and
vomit.
frustrated like
Please,
this
where is
was
the
the
machine?
worst thing for me.
Patience. You have to trust me. This will work. Please continue. Pain breezes effortlessly off of me. Any sacrifices made for my work are worth it 100% of the time. It always pays off eventually. And then you're like, I'm just pressing buttons, doesn't matter. Yes, more.
I don't know.
Keep going.
This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it.
There's no shame, no fear,
I wanted it
no
to
guilt.
stop more than anything.
I'll be saved by my work.
never felt
believe
so
this
rotten.
unquestionably am a vessel
I
for
needed more than I
certainty.
had ever needed anything for this to stop.
Incredible. That's it. I'm free. And what is the machine? The original prison. Next game. What am I doing? Like,
But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
it's the last game, surely? No. That's not right. The last game was the machine. He's literally called it the machine. We've captured the machine. It's waiting for you. You can begin the interrogation if you like. I intend to be quick. I intend to be quiet. I intend to be brutal. Quick's fine. Very good. Just be warned that someone called the press, so you might have a bit of tension in this one. Also, one more thing you should know about the machine. It calls itself Coda. Give us an answer. Please give us answers. Will we see the machine? Will it be punished? Where is the machine now? What are your next actions?
And of course, it's the machine.
You stopped. You stopped feeding us. Your work was keeping us alive. Your work was keeping us healthy. Your work. There's people out there. Can you imagine what pain you put them through? It was only because of your creations that any of us could make it through every day. How could you possibly go back trusting you to do this job? So here's what needs to happen. You need to go out there and apologise to them. You have to admit to them, people, you let them suffer. I've been so alone. Apologise for leaving you. No, nothing. Think carefully. I know how to hurt you. I've seen the friends. It falls on me to deliver bad news. The machine will not apologize to us. The machine refuses to admit that it deliberately hurt us. We do have once, but that's awful. This is not important. We are stronger than it thinks we are. We will find a way to live without it. We do not need its games. I'm not happy about anything that's put on. Let us pay it retribution. Let us show it we are not failures. Follow me. We will destroy the machine. Follow me. We will destroy everything the machine has created. Two, I guess. This is so, like, sad. I think I'm now coming to realise that Coda's been a woman this whole time, which I feel bad for. Coda, make sure your work dies here. Coda, I'll make sure you're unknown forever.
So now the work is becoming self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that Code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his game.
That's what I just said.
It might get him out of isolation. And so, as I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for it? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral?
Such a good idea.
Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
Everything. Why, like, if this was, like, he actually created this, like, this is literally, like, so unbelievably self-destructive. And it makes me sad to feel like people, like, get to this point in mind. They've, like, taken, like...
So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
What would that look like if I said, let's destroy the machine? Because that's what happened after I said, let's destroy the work. I would like to put down my weapon. I don't. I'm shooting myself.
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good, that I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something, I really felt like I'd done something good, like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully, beautifully happy. So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made. So let's take a look.
Let's take a look together. Us. We're going through this together, no matter what.
And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, The Tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game. This room actually has a maze in it. Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise, so the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played, it actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
Scene even starts my post for sure. Okay, welcome back. If you saw the warning, and I put a different timestamp on, by the way.
And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze? The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
Oh, great. I wonder if anyone's got that, or if even if you get it right, it even lets you activate it. So this is about a story, really. Like, this isn't a game that you could speedrun. Am I? I'm crazy? No, I'm not. 6, 7. Ignore me. I like that sound. I like that. Beaver. What's that? I like that. I don't know. I'm procrastinating, like, cause I'm not, my brain and my body isn't in agreement with the natural progression. About, like, the
switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first 2 challenges and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress.
Luck, everything.
And it's scary for me. The idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, You know, that's it. That's the end of the conversation. Not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem. But I can open this door for you, so let me do that. Was I a failure for not understanding this game? I mean, I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why. I remember, it's June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time, and as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is.
And the fact that, like,
it wasn't the guy I knew, it wasn't my
Coda
friend.
kept linking these
I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly
reaching
none
out
of
to
them...
help, but I understand feeling like so lost and like not feeling you know someone, and trying to reach out, and obviously in ways that they're showing in their games, they're not looking to accept the help. And obviously this person's tried, they like went and showed their games to people who enjoyed the games. I don't know, can never know all the details, but I just, to have all these games to look at like introspectively.
I had been trying to, though. That was the thing. For years I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean. And he wouldn't.
What 3 dots?
I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me. But he stopped and left, and it felt somehow like I had failed.
That beeping. It's been going on, I don't like it. What 3 dots?
Where did I screw up? I'm the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I? It's because of what I did. I poisoned it for you.
Making a game to do that?
I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... it felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable.
But how early on did he show people these games? Like, there was concerning messages, and then he showed the games, is what I've been painted out. And then, if there is nothing further than this, and he then went and just made a game with his games.
And the people who played them, they treated me like I was important. They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, it was... I felt good about myself. Finally. For a moment, while I had that, I liked myself.
Wow. giving them something that is not yours to give. Violating the one boundary that keeps me safe. Would you stop changing my games? Stop adding lampposts to them. It's something.
And then you stopped, and I didn't have anything left to show people. I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all. Nothing. Less than nothing. What does that mean?
When I'm around you, I feel physically ill. You desperately need something, I cannot give it to you. I literally do not have it. Struggling to come up with new ideas is not making me depressed. Low points are just part of the process. So we took that process with making assumptions. The fact that you think I'm frustrated or broken says more about you than me. Ouch. Okay. I realise that this doesn't make sense to you yet. Which is fine. You got my problem to solve. But I do hope that one day it clicks and that you make peace with the thing that you're wrestling. But the prison stuff? Like the multiple prison games? And then like the woman crying at the end? And like all of the metaphors? No. No.
I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself.
When you finally see what I'm talking about, don't say anything.
That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work, is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please. I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean,
there's no way this is real.
Is something wrong with me? Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please. Start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
Do not know where I stand. Epilogue. And some explanation, maybe. He's going onto his games and adding lampposts. Why?
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease.
Is there any of these chairs? Any chairs?
Solution.
There's no windows in those chairs.
Solution.
No windows on these chairs. No windows on this train. This is a manor.
I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate.
It's a real good point.
I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed.
But yeah, I'm part of the problem.
Maybe he just likes making prisons.
This is a bad apology though, right? We can all agree on that. Like the opposite of... And any time this game has been released, but it's fairly recent.
Even now, the disease is telling me to stop.
Last 5 years.
Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
I just think this is not like this would never ever like if he made a decision back then to like not speak to you again because of this, then he will very easily make reaffirm his decision that he definitely does not want to associate with you after this. Just simple, really. Couldn't possibly still be playing his games now, right? I guess if he's just making open map plans.
If I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like.
That was a reality for me at one point in my life. Validation was like fuel, and if I didn't have it, I was depressed. It's something you grow out of, though. I think that's very like a teenage thing, and you learn that things don't need to be perfect. You definitely don't need to be perfect.
I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for, and so I'm just gonna... Okay.
We done a full circle to the CSGO thing. Hey, these are like those those glowstone portals in Minecraft. Strikes leg time. Strikes leg strong. I mean, for like maps that are like not very like directive, it's very easy to find where you need to go. Am I a climber? I'm an elevator. Am I a climber? Important questions here. I really don't know how I feel about this game. It's had me emotional and confused. So I said that I wanted to be creeped out or upset or confused or happy on this channel based off indie games, and this has been one of those experiences. I just don't know exactly what the fuck's happening, honestly. It's a very long hallway. It's been a long night for me. Even before this video. Should we just talk? Uh-oh. No. Guess we shouldn't. I went to my soon-to-be stepdad's stag do today. I was out doing it from 9 AM. He shot a rifle for the first time ever. Don't know how I felt about it. And then went darts and stuff. It was fun. And then went for a curry at the end. Oh no, this is the fucking... The exact same laser, the exact... Oh my... I just ruined a lovely moment, by the way. What the... But what's the message right now? Okay, so that was Beginner's Guide, my first video on this channel, and indie game, which I've been waiting a long time to play in a long line of games. If you end up seeing this video and you have any recommendations, let me know. I think I ended up figuring out this was fictional, of course, which I'm happy about, because I was going into such a dark place about 3/4 through this video. I had no idea what was going to happen, and I'm glad that Coda isn't real and isn't struggling. But it's been a pleasure. I will be releasing more edited videos that are like 20 minutes with my friends that are more funny and less serious. So please go watch that if that's more your pace. Thank you.